Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a contention public match for you on the Smokestacks. You're seeing a tiny overview of this large map. Thank you to our Patreon members for the support. If you'd like to support, go to the link in the description where you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment on the bottom of our videos and get raw gameplay footage of everything we cover with no commentary and UI. So, server pop today is roughly 180. Obviously, with a pub server, you're going to get the sides being very balanced. Artillery-wise, Confederates having 8, Union having 10. Now, I generally don't like artillery on Contention and Conquest just because the maps are really big, and generally the artillery does not really fight over the actual area of combat. So, for example, you can see the point of contention is all the way yonder near Union spawn. Lucky for them, but look at where the artillery of both sides is at. Clearly in the combat and going to be able to deal a lot of infantry damage. I'm kidding. They're just going to be counter-battering the whole time, not producing any benefit for their team, and it hurts their infantry. Because imagine, right, we're looking at numbers here. Imagine if all 10 of these guys went into Union infantry. That's like a 10-man infantry imbalance right there, and those are huge numbers. So quickly, one thing is I want to up these back up to high. Been messing with a lot of my settings as of late to fix some issues on my end, but gonna try to up them again. Get those nice little shadows. Such a beautiful game this is. So, with that all being said, first point is favor of Union. If you don't know how contention works while we're waiting for the CSA to get over here for the fighting to start, there is about 5 or 6 flagpoles scattered throughout this map. One is randomly chosen, and each team fights over that one chosen point. What happens from there is if a team captures it, like the Union here, Union has to hold the point for 7 minutes. And if they successfully do that, they will knock the Confederate team down one whole morale stage. Now you can see that gold timer, and you might be wondering what it is. If no team has the point capped, by the time the gold timer hits 0, a new point will automatically be chosen. However, if a point is captured and the gold timer hits 0, the game will let you finish that out. Or if you're decapping a point when the gold timer hits 0, the game will let you finish decapping. So even if the gold timer hits 0, whatever action is being done, the game will let you complete. So if you can win this game one of two ways. You either A, have a higher morale stage than your opponent at the end. So if Union's at a low battle ready and Confederates are at a high battle ready, it doesn't matter, they're at the same morale stage. And then, if you knock your opponent to their final stage of last stand, then and then you wipe them all, you can win the game that way as well. So, Confederates using the nice snake fence position here to engage with the Confederates. Sorry, engage with the Union here. And they already sent someone out to start decapping that point. You have to be in skirmishing. In formation is when you're by all your friendlies, like most of these guys are. Skirmishing is when you're crouching or by 3 or 4 people. Then out of line is when you're by yourself. So, Confederates taking good advantage of the terrain. They're using the corn as cover to approach this area and then using the snake fence as cover. Obviously, they're all kind of crammed up in this little area in Union, even though they're very spread out. They are all able to concentrate fire here, and Union actually starting to shift over to the open here. I don't really like this. I guess they have a little defilade here that they can use, but the Confederates are going to have great shots on them. Sure, they have great shots, but so do the Confederates. And it looks like they almost decapped the point. The drummer boy is walking out. You got someone else on the flag, so... Contention matches usually run the full 45 minutes. It is, in a sense, balanced. I don't know. The problem with this game mode is that each poll, when the game's trying to decide what the next poll is, it is RNG, which makes the game very imbalanced sometimes, and it makes it annoying as a spectator. CSA decapped that point, and it just makes it annoying because if one side gets all the spawns, they just automatically, not automatically, but pretty much have an advantage because half the time it's whoever has a closer spawn to the flagpole. Like on this point here, we saw the Union spawn basically right on top of the flagpole. They spawned right over there. And so they were able to get here right away. Now, they're not really holding it that well because they lost the flagpole. I mean, CSA played it smart. You'll see a lot of times where a group, when they're trying to take a point or decap a point, they will surround everybody around the flagpole. And you can't do that, because the problem is you're all bunching up in one little area, and the enemy just has to shoot at the blob, and they will hit something. It's simple logic. So Union trying to push back towards the corner here. I guess we never introduced the officers. We'll go through the officers once this point concludes, but CSA's not really pushing out. They're trying to wipe the Union, and that's going to be very hard to do, especially with the flag respawns. A flag can spawn a person in every 5 seconds if they're in formation. Most flags are in formation all the time. If a flag is crouching down, it's spawning a guy in every 10 seconds. However, most of the time they're spawning a guy in every 5 seconds. And so it's really hard to outshoot your opponent. It's very hard to be able to successfully push them off a position by just shooting because of how fast they can spawn guys in. It's hard to shoot in this game. Very hard. If you look at any of our other broadcasts on this channel, we will have frontline reporter views where we can see what people are seeing in game. And if you've played the game, or if you just see what those frontline reporters are looking at, it's just hard to aim in this game. So, Confederates, now feeling the opportunity, are going up and over, using still a snake fence as cover. You do have one Union company holding off to the flank, and Confederates are taking this position, and the tide has turned. Union's down to halfway through battle ready, about a fourth of a morale stage down overall, and so this is not looking good for Union right now.
Up and over to the right, gentlemen. Break those.
I think the Union's biggest thing is, I mean, CSA just got up in a really nice spot. Union was very spread out. Sure, I was mentioning how being blobbed up, it can be a bad thing. But it depends on if your opponents take advantage. Union didn't really take advantage. Now, I don't know if a regiment or a side here has buck and ball. Buck and ball one weapon is the Springfield 42. You can load buck and ball. It basically shoots like a shotgun. Your normal shots are one shot. Most rifles are like that in the game. But the Springfield 42 has the option to use buck and ball, which again is a shotgun. It shoots 5 pellets, 1 big one, and then 4 tiny ones. It might be 3. I don't know the exact amount in the game, but that's the case. Union having 3 flags down. The 4th is over there, and you can kind of see we just saw 3 guys over there. Look how many already spawned back in. So, our officers for today, you got Waluigi, Banana, 2, Dope, Jackson, and then Sex for the CSA officers, and then the USA officers we got Dude Danny, Stonewall Jackson, J Money, Wojtek, and then Peters is on the battery. So, Confederates continuing to push out into the open field here. Very flat. Actually, they have some rocks. I didn't see that, but it's not a bad spot. Union now in a very hard position because if you direct assault this point, it's across an open field. As you may know, in an open field, you might not have cover. So, it'll be a little hard to push the point. Union's best bet is, let's see, I have similar out-of-bounds lines. Yeah, so they can't really go over here. They can go here, but Confederates could easily adjust and push up to this spot here. Union could try to go through the woods and kind of repeat what the Confederates did to them. And you kind of see Union doing this right now with J Money pushing up this way with his guys, but you have a sizable Confederate force. Again, they're not really worried about them, but they realize they'll turn and face them. Yeah, it looks like Banana's focusing. And I don't know who has buck and ball, but maybe this spot's better than what the Union was holding here. Who knows? You don't really see Conquest Contention played a whole lot. And if you do, this specific map of Smokestacks, you don't see that often. And then actually seeing fighting on that specific corner, you don't see that often because there's a bunch of random points. So, and I think that's kind of the cool part with Conquest and Contention is that the map packs are made for us already. We have Harper's Ferry, South Mount Antietam, and the drill camp. And these map packs are already made, and there's a lot of areas of the map that aren't used in the skirmish game mode. So when they came out with this new game mode, we were able to fight in a lot of areas that we haven't fought in. And even if we fought in the same areas that we've had traditionally on the skirmish game mode, they're fought in different types of context. For example, this area here is Eastwood Skirmish. This is the map. Point of contention, CSA is defending here on these rocks. We have these flags. Union spawn over there, which is, I guess there's a flagpole near it. But Union generally attack. They're trying to take this point. Usually you have Union hold this corner, and you don't see Confederates really try to hold this just because, again, at close encounter with the Union there, it can be pretty bad. But an overreaction we see here from the Confederate team forcing themselves upon the Union in that woods. And because of that, the Union at main spawn are now able to get up in this nice spot up here, and they'll have an opportunity to decap this point. Remember, 7 whole minutes is the time it takes to fully win the point once you raise their flag, and that red bar is slowly filling up on that circle on the outside. And so they roughly have 2 minutes until they're fully capped. And the big thing for Union is they need to get their numbers. As I was saying earlier, with people being able to spawn in so quickly, this game is no longer a... You can't really shoot down your opponent anymore. That's what I was going to say. I didn't know how I could flow into that, but you can't shoot down your opponent anymore. It rarely works. And so you really have to charge to try to take ground. It allows you to be way more risky and not be so worried about losing numbers. So the only way the Union's going to be able to break through this is to blob up as a team, which you can see they're not doing, and then charge in. Let's look at the numbers again. Still about 180. Imbalance is 6 right now. Union has 9 compared to the 7 guys on CSA artillery. So infantry in balance right now is at 8 guys right now, which isn't too bad. It's within that margin that is acceptable. So at this point, for Union, they have to decide, is it worth wasting the tickets trying to take this point? Because if they try to take the point and lose a bunch of tickets and they fail to do that, they'll lose a whole morale stage on top of what they lost trying to take the point. So at this point, it might be best for Union to try to set themselves up for success. Because outside of this 1 point here, the rest of the points are this way. So if I were the Union team, I would be positioning myself kind of in the wood line here, getting ready for that next point. You can see Confederates are shifting down towards the Union holding here, whether it be the Union here or they're trying to get ready for this next point. It's probably them trying to deal with the Union here. This is a bad spot to be in. Very bad for Union, and the odds at the point is the one to our left would be pretty low. I mean, it's not low. It's about a 1 in 5 or 1 in 4 chance, because the point of contention that is currently active cannot be active 2 times in a row. I remember when they released the game mode, that wasn't the case. And so I watched a match where CSA got a very biased first point. They won that point pretty handily. And then the next point was selected, and it was the same point, the exact same point as it was a moment ago. And CSA won that pretty quickly. And it was pretty abysmal to watch. It was not great, but... Anyways, next point of contention, please. That's where we're at. Look at that. Of course, I guess I can't say anything. Maybe I'll just make it happen, or maybe that was the point. I have a script. So, Confederates already moving out. Confederates have a nice spot with the straight fence. Union having the rocks here, but they're holding off of it right now. I don't necessarily know why, but you can see Union down a whole morale stage. They're about to take in losses. And this match could be over after this flagpole, because Union might lose a whole morale stage again trying to take the point. And they'll go down to breaking and then hit last stand with the point being capped. So points that are in the wide open are very balanced, or not very balanced, but in terms of balance, it's very helpful for the team that has the point capped. Obviously, a point being in the middle of the open field it's very hard to take the point. You're going to be shot at from a lot of directions. You're obviously running through an open field trying to lower and raise a flag. Most of the time, people blob around it. And the Confederates are setting up a nice defensive line where they're very spread out so that if Union come to the point and blob up, they'll be shot at from a lot of different directions, which you always want as a defender of a point. It takes 3 blocks to... He got shot.
I got him.
You didn't get him. That was a bit harsh. But it's true.
Ooh.
Oh, how do you miss that?
Oh, hello, sir. How you doing? Wait. We can be friends. Hey, hold on, man.
It looks like he maybe fat-fingered the bayonet button.
I didn't do nothing to you. We can be friends, man. We did that, man. Forrest Gump. Jenny.
No.
You tried to kill me. I had to kill you before you killed me. I love you, Jenny.
You know, it's always those little encounters that make pubs very entertaining to watch. Doesn't happen as much in regimental, but very, very good.
Hey, flag. Hey, if you are 10th United States Company B, follow your star. ST, follow your star.
So CSA kind of inching out. It looks very flat in terms of the terrain, but they have some defilade here. Union could probably only see their heads, and
Push them from the corn.
CSA's playing very aggressive here. They want to keep getting Union tickets down, and I don't blame them. You got 2 dope pushing alongside this side here. They're right on the edge of out of bounds. They're going to turn in to engage the Union here, secure their victory even more. Maybe not charge, but shoot, maybe.
Shoot them down, boys. Wipe them here. We got a chance of winning the point. Kill these Rams. Keep shooting them, boys. They are slightly overextended.
So this is not looking good for Union. I mean, Confederate, they're doing a foothold here.
Everyone on this side of the fence. Everyone get on this side of the fence. So we're gonna push up the fence. Save your shots. We're gonna push up the fence.
And CSA is just kind of spreading out. Again, numbers, 6-man imbalance, which isn't a whole lot. Artillery, it's now a 5-man infantry imbalance. So, again, Confederates feel like they're just dominating the fight. But they have the same numbers. The Confederate team is just outplaying the Union right now. Confederates about to hit engaged. But we'll see what Union tries to do here. You have J Money trying to push his guys around the side. But Confederates got those rocks, and the Union team just needs to organize and do something as one. Now, it's a lot harder from their view. It's very hard to be a good pub officer because you need a good team, good officers with good communication. You're going to be dead sometimes, so you're just not going to know what's happening. You're trying to look from an in-game view compared to just a spectator view. Yes, I'm like backseat generaling. And I only have to focus on one thing, so. Regardless, you could see CSA doing it well and Union not doing well. Outside of maybe this point here, Union has had plenty of opportunity to do well. And especially at this first point, because they were there and they held it for a while. So, Union's probably not going to win this game. Most contention matches come down to 3 flagpoles, the first 3 flagpoles. Sometimes you'll get a 4th, rarely you'll get a 5th in, just because it takes 7 minutes to cap, and assuming that you have 3 flagpoles, right, takes 7 minutes, that's 21 minutes off the clock there. There's always some time where the people are running to the next point. There's some time when it's decapped, and so it can really add up to the whole 45 minutes, just 3 flagpoles. So generally, really the first 3 matter, and you can lose 1, but you can't lose 2. So you have some charging happening on this side. Banana and Jackson up here charging these Union guys. Jeez Louise. So, the only way Union's going to win this game, which they aren't, because they're going to be halfway through breaking in about 30 so seconds, they need to go to the next point of contention and get ready to cap it. Now, the thing is the odds that it is these 2 points is very low. Am I going to jinx it again? We'll find out in like 20 seconds. But Union should really start moving this way, because all the rest of the points are that way. Unless you want to try to cut the Confederates off, but if you wipe the Confederates, they're just going to respawn on that side and run back over. If it's this point again, that's going to be absurd. Okay, it's not. Next point of contention is inside the woods here. In the meantime, I mean, have they even flipped any guns? Because these guys, all they've been doing is counter battery the whole game. They've provided no benefit to their team whatsoever. You do have 2 points of contention. You have 1 over there, and I think there's 1, yep, right there. So that's it in terms of where the points of contention are at. But here's the thing. Union is slowly starting to move out. Most of them aren't moving. You have CSA kind of doing this 2-pronged attack, and if they collapse on the Union, Union's going to get caught so off guard, and this will not be good for them. Confederates on both prongs. The right one from our POV just shooting the one on the left. Charging. Never mind, they're shooting some Union charging. And Confederates in kind of a dangerous crossfire. The odds that they get a team kill here, it's definitely there. And that Union flag in the center needs to run out. Why is he charging in here? Well, might not know, but he's about to charge into the whole Confederate line and lose his team his flag. He realizes, turning around. And Confederate should be collapsed. Oh, yep, he gets shot. But most Union gets out there 3 flags. Union's actually almost at last stand because of that charge. And great shot there. So this is going to be the unfortunate part about Conquest and Contention is the maps are very big, right? Your opponent hits last stand. The only way to completely wipe them is by getting them down to like 5 guys, which you already have like 7 or so from the Union. Actually, it looks like there's only 5 over there. But I mean, you'll have guys rambling about, and it can be a long time to knock you down. If I am ever officering and I am in a situation where my team is in last stand and my opponent is up by 3 morale stages, I think it is much better to just do a valiant charge instead of delaying the inevitable. So.
Did we charge rocks?
Recharge.
No,
And
we
kill
were
them
gunning
all.
to, then the whole Reb army came to support the rocks, so me and J Money fell back to point instead of fucking Stanford dying. And now we're getting criticized for not letting us all be slaughtered.
And that's kind of the thing too. You can hear the officer banter there. And that's the thing, is it's always hard to tell what's going on. It's always hard to realize who's in the wrong, who's in the right. And that's why we do the broadcast. It's it can be nice feedback for people to kind of analyze their matches, realize what's going on. I mean, this was just straight domination. You can't lose that first point as Union when you have such a time advantage. And you get there so early. So Confederates are about to roll up on the Union left flank. You got Union spawns running over, not a whole lot. Any second now, Union's going to hit last stand, and that's going to be the end of the round. Basically, it's already over. It was really over when Confederates capped that second point. And there they go. So all the Union guys, once they die, they don't come back.
Shift to left, boys. Shift to left, boys. Shift to left. Shift to left.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And so Confederates coming in, they are decapping that point. Oscar's like, they can die, they cannot come in, then he got blown up.
Hold, boys. Hold, hold, hold.
And so you got some Confederates just kind of holding back for whatever reason, I don't know. But contention and conquest at its finest.
We're all dying, that's what.
Get a boys. Get a boys.
They're gonna come in here, they're gonna kill us all, boys.
Right.
For the general.
On the right.
For Lee.
Union still hold the point. You got more Confederates collapsing in on it. Waluigi reinforcing his guys in there right now. And CSA deneutralize, or deneutralize. I don't think I've ever used that word before. Neutralize the point. Union already still there, about 4 of them. But look how many guys are scattered here. Once CSA do cap the point, they'll have to hold it for a minute and a half, and then they win the game. But I don't know, it's the game's gonna be over within the next 2 minutes or so.
We'll see if we get a good hit on their rear.
It's unfortunate you always can't. Some of the War of Rights matches are very lopsided, and you know that's just how it is sometimes. Especially, what are they doing in here?
Kool-Aid's nice.
I don't think Kool-Aid does that to your pay.
Yeah, I don't know why you peed in the
I might
bathtub.
have a vagina. I don't know.
What the?
Stay dead.
Speaking of pubs can be something sometimes. Really, it can happen in private events, but you see it more in pubs. So yeah, CSA capped the point. It's less than a minute or so before the CSA win the game. And this was just a perfectly played part on CSA. And I don't really know if I can even say that, because the Union played really bad this time. You got, how many of them are left? Well, a lot more than you would think. Maybe like 15. But you know, that's again, it just happens sometimes. War of Rights can be a very lopsided game, especially in skirmish. I mean, these points of contention favored Union as it being so close to their main spawn, and yet Union couldn't win the day. So these guys are just waiting for that clock to go down to 0. 1 Union artillery guy left, and you got a couple guys in that barn still, a couple rounded about. Let's just see what they're vibing down here. And they're having a good jolly show down here as they get a near perfect win on Outskirts, when frankly the RNG of the points did not.
Everybody blow a kiss to me, please. Please blow a kiss to me.
But yeah. Good win. Great win from CSA. Union just kind of folded that completely. But besides all that, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel more, check out our Patreon in the description, where we have live streams of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment on the bottom of our videos and get raw gameplay footage of everything we cover with no commentary and UI. But besides all of that, I hope you all enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your night.